Peace, soul family. It's your girl Shay with Green Goddess Beauty. I wanted to do a video on my recommended reads for 2019. I hope you're having a great 2019 so far. So these 4 books that I'm going to share with you are 4 books that changed my life profoundly, and I highly, highly, highly recommend them regardless of what you're attempting to accomplish, what your goals are, what your religious background or beliefs are. Anybody can benefit from these books. They are my all-time favorites. So I'm going to get right into it and start with my very first book that is my absolute favorite, The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn. She is my absolute favorite author of all time. She wrote this book in 1925. It is like super, super inspirational. And I believe she's like one of the founders of the New Age thought movement, which like really was super popular in that time frame in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. People like Earl Nightingale, just so many people you can tell were influenced by her. Even Louise Hay, may she rest in power, who recently just passed away last year, was highly influenced by Florence Scovel Shinn. So anyway, in The Game of Life and How to Play It, this particular copy has 4 of her other books, which I also recommend. They aren't my top favorites like The Game of Life and How to Play It, but also included in this copy is Your Word is Your Wand, which is a book of affirmations, very powerful affirmations too, not like just mundane affirmations that you're just repeating that you don't really feel. Her affirmations, she has a lot of them, so there are many to pick from if they don't resonate with you, but I'll give you an example of one. I now draw from the universal substance with irresistible power and determination that which is mine by divine right. Her affirmations will give you a feeling. If not all of them, some of them for sure. So at some point, I do recommend Your Word is Your Wand. Another book of hers, The Secret Door to Success, very good book. And also The Power of the Spoken Word. However, today I want to talk about The Game of Life and How to Play It. Like I told you, that was the first book of hers that I read. I read it for the first time back in like 2005. My mom gave it to me as a gift, and it totally changed my life. Like seriously, my life was like never the same after reading this book. She starts off the book saying that most people view life as a battle, but it's really a game. And she's basically saying, throughout the whole book, she just talks about taking control over your thoughts and taking control over your words, and basically taking responsibility for your experience. Very powerful book. She references a lot of scripture. However, this book is not a religious book at all. It is more metaphysics, kind of spiritual, and not religious. And I feel like regardless of what side of the fence you're on, if you are a very religious person or if you are not, you will benefit from this book and be inspired by it, because she doesn't use the scriptures in a way like in a condemning way or in a way self-righteous kind of way. It's very empowering how she uses the scriptures. If you are religious and you are a Christian, I feel like her interpretation of the scriptures will probably open up your mind and your consciousness so much. She has one point in the book where she references Jesus as the greatest metaphysician who ever walked the earth. Prior to me reading her, and saying that, I'm like, wow, that is really profound, because if you really think of it and you believe in Jesus, or at the very least believe that he existed, and believe some of these accounts that are written about him, he was definitely a metaphysician. So, I mean, it's a very inspirational book. It will make you feel so empowered. It has helped me to overcome fear. It has helped me to overcome self-doubt. It has made me feel so empowered, and above all, it has helped me to feel connected to my creator. It has helped me to feel like I am attached to my creator and not separate from my creator. I highly recommend all of her books, but in this video, the one that I want to discuss and share with you that I feel like is a must-read ASAP, or as soon as you can, The Game of Life and How to Play It. So that's my first one. Took a lot of time to talk about her because she is my favorite. My second one is The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. This book is very similar to The Game of Life in that he talks about the mind, and they both talk about the conscious and subconscious mind. Matter of fact, both of them have a chapter or a section where they speak of the watchman at the gate, referencing your conscious mind, and how your conscious mind, the responsibility of your conscious mind is to be the watchman at the gate for your subconscious mind, to not allow, or to allow good thoughts and disallow bad thoughts to come in. He kind of breaks things down from a very psychological perspective, but he also has a lot of spiritual techniques in there. He talks about prayer and effective prayer, you know, and both of them talk about things like, actually both of these books, like they are very similar, talk about how prayer is not effective if it's desperate. You know, what's the point if you don't think you're going to get it? You know, he also has like his specific he has specific chapters that talk about different areas of your life, like the power of your subconscious mind and wealth, the power of your subconscious mind and relationships, the power of your subconscious mind and your health and healing your body. This book, I mean, I've read this book so many times, and I read it all the way through about once a year. But as I said, every day I go to a specific chapter where I'm led, or if I've been feeling some kind of way about money or healing, or, I mean, he breaks it down. It is an absolute must read. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Both of these books, there are audio versions of them on YouTube. If you don't, you know, like to read, or you feel like you don't have the time to read, I would recommend repetition, which is something both of these books talk about. Those are great ways to impress your subconscious mind, is with repetition. The third book that I want to talk about, Think and Grow Rich. I know a lot of people talk about this book, and despite the title, it was written by Napoleon Hill, and it was written a long time ago as well. I can't remember. It was written around the 1920s as well. Napoleon Hill wrote this book to study the lives, the minds, the practices of rich, wealthy businessmen back then. So there are accounts of men like Henry Ford, Andrew Carnegie, Thomas Edison, all in this book. And you get a little bit of history in it. And it's interesting. But above all, the thing that I feel like he captures so well in this book, he also talks about the mind. And despite how the title, you would think that this book is like mainly about like just making money, but it's really about getting your mind right, basically. Working on any subconscious thoughts and beliefs that don't serve you, that actually are working against you, which is something that everybody in the world is dealing with. Everybody, whether you know it or not, and Dr. Joseph Murphy talks about that in particular, about how we're all born, being told, we're all born basically being told what our religion is. This is your name. You don't even realize the level of how your subconscious mind is being impressed by external factors until you get to a certain point in life. And I think that's the dope thing about all of these books. Despite, like I said, the title, it's definitely more of a spiritual book. They do give you practical steps. Napoleon Hill offers practical steps and techniques to help you gain wealth. But it's more about taking responsibility of your mind, thinking aright. It really is a great book. And I think above all, my takeaway from this book, more than anything, is how the attainment of riches is really a spiritual thing. Money is so unfortunate, the bad rap that money has. Money is just energy, and it's just so unfortunate that people just associate money with evil or negativity or greed, and that is because of the character of the people, not the money in of itself. Money is just a means of exchange, and it's just energy. And I think this book kind of helps to kind of clear out your money issues and get down to it. So I highly recommend this book. Highly, highly, highly. You might not want to be a millionaire. I mean, why not? But, who doesn't want money? And I just feel like, this book kind of addresses like issues people might have with money. So definite must read. Sorry that I was kind of like, trying to figure out the best way to describe my thoughts on that book. And last but not least, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. Deepak Chopra is an amazing man. If you are not familiar with him, please Google him. He has a way of combining science and spirituality and making it like one. To somebody like me, that always resonated with me, because that's exactly how I feel, how I look at science. I look at science like spirituality. I look at science like God in action. And Deepak Chopra just has a brilliant way of expressing that, and bringing things down to the oneness of everything. This also was a short read. It's only about, 10 or 13 chapters. 7, actually. 7 chapters. I'll read them. The law of pure potentiality, the law of giving, the law of karma or cause and effect, the law of least effort, the law of intention and desire, the law of detachment, the law of dharma or purpose in life. And he puts this book helps you to understand how effortless life can really be when you start practicing certain principles. Off the first chapter alone, the law of pure potentiality, it's almost like the law of pure potentiality, aka the law of all things are possible. This book also kind of helps you to think of the oneness of you and the Supreme Spirit, and how you are really just an extension of it. It's a really, really, really good book. And it's a book that when I first came into contact with it, it totally changed my perspective and helped me get on the right track. I got the book when I first graduated from college, and believe it or not, I was very lost. I kind of was like, now what? The real world, I don't think that anybody can prepare you for the real world when you're off at college 4 or 5 years and, you're living the college life, that's not the real world. You know, you get into the real world and you're just like, I mean, how could anybody prepare you? Everybody, you know, projects things to you in such a linear way. You know, you're going to go to college, you're going to get a degree, you're going to look for a job. And it didn't go like that for most of the people that I knew. And that book helped me to get in touch with the essence of myself, my soul, and my creator, to help me start becoming aligned with what I really wanted, what I really ought to be doing with my life, with the fact that I am safe and secure, and that it really doesn't benefit, you know, to look at things a certain way. That book kind of helps with that. The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. So these are 4 books that I recommend anybody, regardless of your religious background or whatever. I recommend you read it and check it out. And I really believe that anybody can benefit from them because they help to expand your consciousness. And you can only be where you are. You know, if you don't know what's on the other side of a building, you can't perceive anything on that side of the building, period. If you don't feel like more than what you are experiencing is possible, then you will not experience more. And these books help to open up your consciousness. They also empower you that you are more than what you think you are, that you have more control than you think that you do. And not to say that you have control over other people or external circumstances directly, but that you have control over them by way of the way that you're thinking of them. And every single one of these books address that. So I hope this video was helpful to somebody, and I hope you all pick these books up. One of them, all of them, I don't know. But I would love it if you all share your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Like I said, almost all of these books are available on YouTube via audio. The only one that I have never seen is the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. But, I mean, it probably is on there. All of them are definitely on Audible. So, if you don't want to read it, you can listen to it. But definitely make this year your best year, as within, without. So just remember that everything comes through you and not necessarily to you. So you got to do the work, and it doesn't necessarily have to be hard work or hard effort, but you got to, exert yourself mentally. You got to see it, in your mind's eye. You got to believe it in your heart in order to materialize it in the reality, in the real space, in the 3D realm, and forget the naysayers and focus on you. And yeah, keep in touch with me, greengoddessbeauties.com. That's the website. Instagram, The Green Goddess Beauty. The Green Goddess Beauty on Instagram. Facebook, Green Goddess Beauty LLC. So yes, please keep in touch. I have some dope events coming up. Matter of fact, this Saturday evening, almost forgot to plug that, I have a night of sistership with my girl Quintina Starr. It's going to be nice. It's for the ladies. So it's only for the ladies. We're going to have a night of relaxation, some pampering, some discussion, a little bit of a glass of wine, just to have some girl time. It's a girls' night out. That's Saturday, January 19th. I'll put the details and the link for ticket purchase in the description below. Hit me up. I really want to know what you guys think about these books when you read them or you listen to them. So please keep in touch, and I love you guys. Peace.